Also, that motor, the 800 horsepower motor. Hey everyone, real quick before we get into the video, there's still time to win the PSI Conversions LS Swap Harness. Giveaway is still going on. As a matter of fact, we're gonna sweeten it up only for this week only. We're gonna double the entries, so every $5 you guys spend on the website, we'll give you 2 entries to win the LS Swap Harness package. So don't miss out. Hit gooseperformance.com. Let's get back to the video. Yeah, buddy, it is time, guys. I've been avoiding this thing a little bit, but for good reason, because we really can't put this thing on the car without modifying this rear end bracket situation and all that. So this is a Speedtech Performance bracket setup that they give you / sway bar for the rear. But the problem is that we don't have a traditional rear end. We have a custom 9-inch rear end. So if you guys had a 12 bolt or even a 10 bolt on a Chevelle, you'd obviously just use this bad boy right here and be done. Right? Wrong, for us at least. Now, if you guys are watching this video and you guys have a 9-inch rear end that might be custom, this is what you guys might have to do. Now, we had to get a hold of the Speedtech guys, and they basically sent us a kit. It's a bracket kit that's made basically for 9-inch rear ends. It also was made on like these Camaros. So let me see if there's a part number on this kit here. Let's see here. So yeah, see, it's almost made for torsion bar, arm, rear sway bar. That's actually for like the Camaros and stuff when they run 9-inch rear ends. So it's 11425. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to have to weld this bracket on. See? So on a 9-inch rear end, this particular one, you would just weld it like that, right? You can see how the housing usually is bigger on one side than the other, than where the shaft is at towards the wheel. But so with that being said, if you look in this diagram here, one side is actually going to be cut lower than the other side to basically account for that. But we don't have that situation. Our rear end is even more custom than that. So what we had to do is we kind of had to go down to a buddy's house. We had to go down there and use the sander, like a belt sander, and kind of even that out. You see how it's kind of nice and even now, so it'll go around the rear end. So our rear end has like a custom brace on the back side of it. It's just runs almost the length of the whole thing. So what I'm going to end up doing is having to weld this thing on there and then kind of notch it in certain areas to make it fit. So once we have that placed up on the rear end, then we can bolt that guy to it just like that. And then obviously this guy will go like that and like so. But yeah, pain in the ass either way. So we also got the end links as well here. This is kind of a cool sway bar. Kind of digging it because you have 3 notches for flexibility, really, to run super stiff or soft. It's kind of cool. So this will bolt up to the top side of your frame. So we'll do that. As a matter of fact, let's go to the car, see if we can get started and get some of this stuff laid out. Y'all some lazy dogs soaking up all the shade over here. And then you're gonna sit in this dirty ass freaking concrete. Man, y'all skeezers. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I totally forgot to give you guys an intro, right? I know I'm just so busy trying to get some stuff done before LS Fest. But I'm on the back of the car. I got the bracket pretty much welded in. I mean, not pretty by any means, but structurally sound. Let me show you guys that bracket on how it actually goes onto this rear end, and then hopefully we can make some progress with this sway bar. All right, you guys, so you can see I got this welded, pretty much welded in. You don't have to weld it all the way around. A few stitch welds will do just fine, but you guys can see it's definitely not pretty. I'm not a pro. This is probably my least favorite part. I don't know why. I just don't do very good when it comes to welding and stuff like that. But we're trying, boys. We are trying. But you guys want to see how bad this thing is? So you want this thing as level as possible, right? Let's see how bad I screwed this up. What's that say? Let's see. Clean this off. So, within 0.5, not that terrible, right? Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can give you guys a better angle. Oh, there you go. Actually, 0.2 there. Pretty good, actually. Not too shabby, huh? not too shabby. Like I said, you guys want to make sure that thing is leveled as possible when you put that on. So now that we have that, this bracket will basically bolt up there, right in place of that guy right there, and that way you can bolt up that rear sway bar to this backside. But I am not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little nervous because this housing is very much extended, you guys can see. So hopefully we don't have no clearance issues. Now let's work our way up to the top side, on the other side I should say. As a matter of fact, let me try to finish this thing up real quick. I got to do the other side, and then also maybe clean this up, give it a coat of paint. All right, everybody, we got the sway bar up, already mounted up. Well, I should say mocked up, right? Because we still got to do the other end of this. Now you guys can see we got the clamps holding this thing up here for the most part. We got it pretty much clearing this back portion of the rear end. Now it is very easy. I did it earlier actually. I totally thought something was completely wrong, but turns out I had the sway bar backwards. So keep that in mind. Make sure you guys are using the sway bar upright correctly, and don't do what I did. Had it 180, so they're definitely not going to work. But another thing you have to do is very important, is that you have to, you guys notice I took the shocks off, I took the coilovers off, because you have to jack up the rear end to ride height. So if you don't have the rear end to the initial ride height, more or less on where it's going to be sitting at when the car is down on the ground, this is pretty much where the car will probably sit. So I jacked it up to ride height. Now that's going to be a huge deal, because what happens is if you put this sway bar on and then you put the links down here at the back, and with the wheels kind of coming down, basically already down in a sense, you're putting the sway bar under load, you're putting the linkage under load here. So you don't want to do that. So you want to jack up that rear end to ride height. And then once you have that, now you can kind of position your link here on this side on kind of where it's going to sit at for the most part. So you can adjust that back and forth. And then that way you have the sway bar at ride height. It's not under any type of tension or anything like that. The only time it would be under tension is obviously once the car is traveling on the road, going through turns, twists, obviously hills, up and down movements and things like that. You don't want the car to basically be under tension. I should say that you don't want the sway bar to be under tension before it even gets to ride height. So keep that in mind. So like I said, jack up the rear end, do whatever you got to do, put some jack stands underneath the wheels, or those wooden blocks, whatever you guys got. But now we can kind of position this guy up here. There's going to be 3 holes. You got 1 in the middle, 2 up top. We're going to go with the middle setting just to kind of give us the best of both worlds. So we're going to kind of position this thing somewhat like this here, kind of get it mocked up. I got to go grab a Sharpie. We're going to mark it, and then we can drill our holes, and then we can kind of see where this thing's going to live at. That way we can position the sway bar accordingly. Now there is a hole there that you can probably use. In this case, we should be able to use it for this particular side, but it might not be identical to the other side. So you want to try to line up that end link as straight as possible. So that's actually pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll wind that bolt up top there. We're going to make it bigger to accommodate our bolt, and then we'll do the bottom side so that way it's nice and sturdy. And then we'll do the top right. You guys can see it's not going to be like a perfect flat surface, so that's why we're going to do those 2 there, so that way we know we have our hole. And you're definitely going to need like an angle drill or something like that here. Woo! That 50-year-old steel, boy, or my drill bit sucks. Probably both.
Later, in the void.
Oh my God, you guys, that thing whipped my ass on that freaking hole right there. So these holes, by the way, are 3/8. You want to do a 3/8 hole? Now you guys, the other hole, definitely can't get it from this side. I mean, even with the angle drill, unless you guys got a better idea or a better way. So I just went from the back side. Only way that I can see to get it, so heads up. So all we got left is the link, and should be good to go. Tighten up everything else. Matter of fact, let's see here. finally, guys. Whoo-wee. What a pain, guys. Not gonna lie, a little bit of work, definitely. Well, I guess really what made the difference is this rear end, right? This rear end with all this extra stuff going on really kind of set everything back and just kind of made it everything more involved. But you guys can see Speedtech performance bar is in. Links are all hooked up, ready to go. Give you guys a shot from the backside so you guys can see what's going on. Not too shabby. We still got to put our coilovers back on, so I still got some work ahead of me. Man, it's been hot today, y'all. Not gonna lie, man, I got my butt kicked today, man. It's been super hot today. It's probably in the 90s. I don't know what's going on. We got that bipolar weather going on in Vegas. Hopefully it's not like that at LS Fest. But also, don't forget, guys, make sure you enter to win before LS Fest. It is around the corner, and we're trying to get this car also there too. Also, that motor, the 800 horsepower motor that I posted the other day, totally forgot to tell you guys. Slipped my mind. That motor is for this car. It's for this car. Yeah, I don't even know why I didn't even think about it. But I figured you guys know, but I guess not. I saw some of you guys asking about it, but it is for this car. So hopefully we can maybe set it in the